Hello everybody, and welcome to Berserk Boy. My name is Dyanketo, and I will be showing you the any percent run for Berserk Boy. It's going to entail a lot of speed and a lot of, movement, a bit of tech, a couple of glitches here and there. Hopefully I'll be able to show off the final boss skip. It's a bit of a tricky one. If I have time for that, I'll definitely go around. But without further ado, we are in the introductory part. So it asked me, do you want to start a new game plus? No. So we're going to go through it all the way. And oh, I started off too soon. Hang on, give me a second to reset properly. I misclicked. But yeah, that gives me a little bit of time to introduce about K that you just saw there. That is K, our character. And at least let me see. Let me reset that. That's the main character that we're going to play with. And he's a fast boy. His job is to be a teleporter. So in 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, as I mentioned before, K is a teleporter. He works in New Hope City and he goes from gate to gate, delivering orders and packages. He's a good boy. He's fast. So every gate you encounter, that's basically, your standard go-to location for your job. As you can see right here, we're off in the introductory stage, the tutorial stage. It teaches you about ladders, and as you can see right here, there's a couple of corner jumps. Those save time. As soon as you encounter a corner, yeah, cutting them is nice. But yeah, a lot of things happen in between cutscenes, and now we're suddenly acquainted with Fior. That's our bird partner right there, and Fior is amazing. Fior has like burning hair. It's a talking bird with burning hair. I can make marshmallows on top of that hair, but yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with Fior. Fior is actually currently teaching you about things like, hey, you can dash and you can use me as a club. So what we're trying to do is right now we're getting invaded by dark energy shades. And as you can see, our job as a teleporter is becoming really useful because we can also teleport people away from harm. So that's what we're doing right here. We're saving a lot of people right here. That fills up the resistance bar. And don't worry, that's the only bar you're gonna see filled this time around. So because what happens is you have to open this door, which requires a certain amount of people to be around, or at least saved. But yeah, it's for the introductory. It's gone now, so don't worry. So as you can see, those teleport gates have a couple of functions. And those grind rails do as well. But those teleport gates, every time you get close to them, they function as a checkpoint. So what happens is it restocks you your energy, it restocks you your health if you've lost any. So there we go. That's the introductory stage gone. So what happens right now is we actually get involved. The cutscenes we skip show a little bit of a lot of backstory. But we have found the lightning orb, lightning justice orb. That's a lightning form. And what happens right now is it shows us we're not in full control of the orb yet. So I'm literally being downgraded. But we are breathing, we are controlling our nerves, we are taking control, and we have this awesome move called lightning justice. The super move actually is possible to trigger. But after that short introductory part, we are off. It showed us in that quick part we skipped that there's like 3 types of currencies. Health, quite literally so. The blue orbs that we're gathering right here, those are actually very important. That's basically your currency. It works as money, but it's also an energy recharger, which is pretty important as it gives us the ability to dash. Stalker orb, stay away. So there we go. Quickly go over here. As we're zooming through this stage, there's the last orb. That's a yellow orb. Let me explain that real quick. The last orb that you see is the yellow orb, which gives you Berserk energy. And Berserk energy is used to use your special move. So basically think of the move that I'm doing right now, but just powered up. You'll see it when we get to the boss. So we have to do a quick super dive to get through these blocks. It teaches you on the way here. 1, 2, 3, and there we go. But yeah, it's the thing is, what I'm a bit nervous about is the blue orbs. I have to gather enough of them because I'm doing a 3-shop route, which means I am buying 50% more dash powers. More soon, TM. Stalker orbs, stay away. Stay away. Okay, we're good. But yeah, through these stages, you are being met with certain obstacles, such as lightning wires, doors, buttons. They are all lightning activated, which means I need to be in this specific form to be able to pass certain obstacles. There we go. And as you can see, gameplay is mainly construed, if that's the correct English word for it. But yeah, it basically is made up of a lot of dashing. Like, the actual level and stage design is made to be, you know, speed run. So guess what? A speedrunner like me picked up on it and was like, hey, this is cool. Can I do this? And we basically broke the game from that point on. Much to the much a bit to the developers. Did Spain? No. Whatever. We're at the mid boss. So worry not. I'm hopefully gonna get some good RNG here because Mega Man fans will probably recognize this one. At least I hope, because it's like boss fighter. Oh no, he's gonna give us the second best pattern, hopefully. So what happens right here is he's in a bit of invincibility frames. He's wasting my time. So what I hope for is to get more flames out of him, but not like this. We're not off to a good start. Give me RNG. There we go. So with that, the first boss of the first level is done. And as you could see, there were a couple of short cutscenes there that showed us like, hey, it's a Berserk move, go Berserk. That's actually, when you look at the top left corner of the screen, not right now, but when it's there, there's like this purple and pink bar. That basically tells you how much Berserk energy you have. Right now, it's just a full purple bar, and when I use certain moves in the game, it actually depletes it from it, and that's a very important thing to take note of because it will become it will become a thing in later stages where I'm trying to preserve a bit of Berserk energy so it can use, of course, use the super strong special powers later on. But yeah, to explain a bit about the game. You have a couple of moves, as you can see. This is our primary move. It's called the Lightning our primary form. This is called Lightning Justice form. And it has like 3 moves. Basically, you can think of it as a light move, a strong move, and a dash. And different forms will have different abilities. And for this one, I am mainly using the dash. We're gonna just gonna skip ahead on these Donkey Kong barrels, as I call them. That's a move you will rarely see me do, by the way. It's one of the hidden moves you can do. The game tries to explain it to you, but personally I think it's more of a hidden move. Because after you attack enemy, like that, nice damage boost there, we will, you can jump and you actually do like this really cool spinny move. Unfortunately, that's about the only use I found for it. Yes, back in the game, different forms, different moves. Other part that's very key to notice is that each chapter has 3 stages. So we're all going through these theme stages, 1 to 3, like 5 chapters. So there's 3 stages per chapter. So, and this is the first time we're getting introduced to gauntlets. Enemies are just on our tail. They're locking us in. They've got our number. I don't know how, but hey, here they are. But here we are, getting through it just like a knife through hot butter. But that's also a key point to notice, that there will be gauntlets here and there, and we will do our very best to get through it as quickly as possible. There are a couple of methods to go through it. Later down the line, it will change a couple of times for different types of strategies. But yeah, lightning wires, grind rails, you name it, we have it. But yeah, this mission is actually made to explain to you, like, hey, you know, there's more to this than what's going on. So later down the line, you saw us heading left, which is, you know, kind of unusual in like older style and retro games. But don't forget, we are a teleporter, so we had to open up the button for the gate so we can teleport back to Area 1, and then head to through the correct door. It actually is kind of friendly, gives us a warning, and introduces us. Dark energy levels high. You've seen it before. We've seen this guy before. What are you doing here? Oh, okay, this is good, this is good. He's giving us a good RNG pattern. So, during boss fights, I'm sometimes on purpose getting hit extra. That might sound strange, but if you get hit during your attack or during your recovery, you land faster. So, sometimes I'm trying to get hit a little bit extra to land and, you know, cut a corner here and there by cheesing in an extra dash and things like those. But yeah, this is a special property of the lightning dash. If you hit objects or enemies, you get this lightning wire, as you can see. Now, if I were to use the actual move, the explosion, as I name it, which is the secondary attack, you basically send down a lightning orb along the wire, which is useful because if you want to open buttons or doors a little bit later, so you're a bit more closer to set objective, you can then open it, of course, near the door a little bit sooner. Anyway, not important. Right now, we are getting invaded by evil dark energy creatures. That's not cool. This is my home base now. I'm here to defend it. We are Berserk boy, and we're going Berserk on these fools. So we're gonna let them know that we're right here. But yeah, an invasion is basically a sort of tutorial, like, telling you, like, hey, there's these invasions, you can run rampant with those. We're off to the shop, like I mentioned before. This 3-shop route. What we just bought is 50% more energy. And if you saw the speed of the game already, well, you can bet this is fast. 50% more dash. Yeah, I'm definitely buying this. So yeah, in this mission, what we went through all this time is, I forgot to mention, we have Dizzy. Disney is our friend and researcher that's being kidnapped in that very short cutscene you saw there. The researcher, our research friend, basically Dizzy, is the lead researcher on Berserk energy, because we found the orb that we were tracing, which was this very specific lightning justice form. And we were lucky because we found the correct location. We got it. We got in contact with it. But unfortunately, evil guys took Dizzy away, so we're going to rescue her. Henry, as I like to call this boss stage, is the one I'm chasing right now. Give me back my friends! Huh! There we go. So yeah, we're quickly chasing through these. Ooh, Steve, no. I'm infected with rabies now. So Steve is a bit of a running gag. It's the guard dog. The guard dog is just... I would like to say, you know, it's a bit of like Rush, but Rush actually is useful. Steve isn't. Steve is just there to make your life miserable. Okay, quickly wall scaling. It's always a bit tricky. There we go. So yeah, Steve is this guard dog who desperately tries to stop your attempts, and usually he does not succeed, so it's always a bit fun, you know, to make fun of the dog. But if you play along it casually, he will break your rhythm, he will get you at times, and you're just standing there like, oh, well, yes, thank you. There we go. So we're almost at the end part of the stage, trying to, you know, quickly get a couple of hits in, grab these orbs, and make our way over to Henry, who is waiting for us, and he's like, I'm ready for you. If you like Mega Man X7, this boss will just be the one for you, because he steals a couple of lines from Flame Heinard, all the burn jokes, burn, 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 burn to the ground, all those things, it's all good. Let's hope he gives a good RNG pattern too. After a couple of hits, he ends in the middle. Oh, he gives us the good RNG pattern. I think I might actually know how to get it now. His flame actor. Wow. No, his voice actor is actually pretty good. There's so much emotion actually put into this. But yeah, he's feeling extinguished. That's literally what he said. I'm not making this up. I wish I did, but it's cool. We need the puns. So with that, we are out of the first set of chapters, so we're off to the three stages for chapter 2. We're going to skip ahead.
Are you ready to head out?
Yes, I am ready to head out. So we're going off to the Frozen Temple. Also, by the way, that's our commander. You see how awesome he is, right? His cape is like flowing with the wind. He is there to support us from the sidelines. He's sending us off on missions and he's like, nah, you got this. We know you're good. We know you're good. You got this. So he's giving us missions and, you know, the typical commander-like behavior. Like, you're forced to do this now. But with Flame Drill down, we have actually taken Flame Drill's Horb, and this is going to unlock an integral part of the gameplay right here. We can now switch forms on the go, and as you can see, Flame Drill has its own forms, like drilling into the floor, for example. And Flame Drill's abilities are really, really powerful. That is our big go-to use for gauntlets right now. So every time we're stuck in a gauntlet, Flame Drill is our go-to option. Now, as you can see, we sometimes have to go through a little bit of dirt, and let me just explain that a little bit later on. That would make more sense, because that was kind of short. Oh, no. There we go. Almost too soon. Okay, so to explain this, normally you would go through this type of dirt very slow, but we've activated Hyper Drill, and as you can see, Hyper Drill means that every time I press the button to dash forward, means that we can absolutely shred through the dirt. And Hyper Drill is actually one of Flame Drill's specialties. Besides, you know, beating people up in gauntlets. Okay, there we go. No, yes, there we go. And as you can see, we sometimes have to go underneath a couple of these spikes. It's very important to note that you can try to dash through those spikes, but you will be squished. So definitely do not, as I just did, attempt to go through most of those spikes. There are a couple of spots where you can actually just, you know, dash through perfectly fine. Just like that. There's not many of them. Sometimes you see me land after a dash, take a little bit of damage. Every time you land after a dash, you take a little refresh. So when I land on the spikes on purpose, I refresh the dash, which gives me, of course, time to get into the lightning wire. But this is a mid-boss. Worms are sensitive to vibrations, so don't move. This is good, this is good, this is good. So Flame Drill is its weakness. Activate the special. Come on, quick kill. Yes, we got it. Nice. That's gonna save a good chunk of time. There is, of course, another pattern where he just flies across the screen and he's just like, I am a worm boss. You're there. Did not get the despawn. That's okay. It's a bit hard to trigger that one. I'm gonna avoid explaining that. Just know that there's a screen despawn possible. If I get it, it's cool. Otherwise, it's not. Cancel one of the Donkey Kong barrels to skip, you know, the entirety of the other section where you have to use Donkey Kong barrels. But yeah, with that, we are through. Doing a quick ladder zip here. And you think ladder zips are really, really difficult? No, they're not. You just press down and you're good to go. So right now, we're stuck in a mini gauntlet. Which is unfortunate, and I had to trigger it myself too, but that has to do with a door that's to the left of us. It's a specific locked door. And honestly, during my first casual playthrough, I never even dared to, you know, check left. It was only until like, I don't know, 50 hours into the game, quite late, where I was like, you know what, let's check what's on the left side of the door. But yeah, if you've been, you know, observant, you can see that there's a small, tiny corner counter in the bottom right corner that's at 28 seconds. So I didn't have to do anything there for 28 seconds. However, if you kill those enemies, they spawn blue orbs. And as I said before, I kind of want them. So with that, we are through to the first Ice Kunai stage. As I've mentioned before, it is done in 5 chapters, and every chapter has their own, like, theme. Like, this one's themed Ice Kunai, you have Earth, and you have Sky Fortress, and, what I dubbed the final stage is the Wily Fortress, basically. And each of them gives their own ability and their own power-up. So we're right in the second part of the second chapter, so let's go off. These usually let you start off, you know, blazing, so we're going to go through right here. Oh, yeah, got a corner right there. Nice. But yeah, this stage is going to introduce us to flame drill platforms that we're mostly going to ignore. What a flame drill platform does when we get to it is it allows you to use flame drill on the platform and then quickly move across to the other side mostly. Also, we're just gonna skip elevators. Elevators just take forever. We ain't got no time for that, do we? As you can see here, these flame platforms are on the side here. They allow you to float downwards safely, but we just dive off, use a quick hyper drill, grab the orbs, and go. Nice. That's a bit of a tight window to get. You actually go through that diagonally. But yeah, coming up in a bit, there's going to be more flame drill platforms. Actually, what we just passed is like a Berserk Boy medal. And a Berserk Boy medal allows you to basically unlock for 100% for the game. Which, unfortunately for us, is going to unlock the secret ending, which we're not going to do, the final mission. Because we're on any percent. But do note, those are important if you want to go for your own progression at your own time. Grabbing a little bit of health here. And of course it's a bit of a safety corner hop. No Steve, not today. I already need to get my rabies shot. Poor guard dog, he tries every time. I don't blame him. But yeah, these platforms are spaced in such a way that if you say walk over the spikes for a little bit using your iframes, you can actually just jump and then dash right into the next platform segment. And with that, we are off to our second mid-boss. Now, I think you kind of see where this is going, right, with the theming? Yeah, except normally I would say we have weaknesses for this guy, but not this one. Now, this allows me to explain a very important part of the dash as well. The dash has invincibility frames on a certain moment. So when I do this, I basically have like free movement, wait for him to jump 5 times, because his attack is very telegraphed. He rubber bands you from start to finish once he's off the ground. He actually targets you mid-air, so he catches a lot of people off guard, honestly. He's not weak to, say, flame drill, so we're just gonna stick to using lightning justice here. It's a average kill. Gonna take a quick drink of water here. Okay, we're off to the final segment of this stage. Let's see. Something coming up in a bit that I'm gonna call a Pavlov trap. Just remember, if you know what Pavlov is and what it does, it's conditioning, right? Well, the basic part of conditioning is that you often get fooled for a second. Like, this is what I'm talking about. It's actually acts as a rhythm breaker. So what Pavlov traps do is the game conditions you to go in a certain flow, certain rhythm. Say up, down, and then up, down again. And that is a repeating pattern. And at some point, the game decides to go up, down, up, for example. And that's why I'm called them Pavlov traps, because you have to remind yourself at that specific moment, like, oh, I don't have to go in this direction. Unfortunately, I got caught by such a trap, so it immediately proves its own point. So we're off to the final stages. They are all, if you heard, by the way, each stage has their own theme music, or like remixed themes. It's like a single theme that's like the core of the entire game, or for the entire stages, which is really nice to listen to. I think the developer also made the same music for Sonic Mania, so you can jam out as many times as you want, because it is awesome. As mentioned before, Flame Drill is getting a lot of action right here. We're diving in the floor, we're doing uppercuts, we're just punching these guys in one go. It's amazing. We're just gonna stand here, and they're gonna take it. Thank you for letting me pass. So a bit of a flying section here. This is the first quick introductory to an infinite jump. It will have a little bit more time later on. But just know that if you use a certain ability on the wheel, it gives you the ability to regain your dash. So you can infinite jump as many times as you want. Yay! I just wish we found more applications for it, because unfortunately we go so fast we barely have a need for infinite jump. Oh no! But yeah, with that we are off to our first auto-scroller section. And with it, I can show you the Song of My People. It is once the music actually drops down in volume that you can properly hear it. But yeah, it's an auto-scroller section. We have, let me try something new here. Let's grab those Stalker Orbs. Bop. We're stacking the orbs now. We're doing it. Yes! Stalker Orbs, luckily enough for us, I'll have a little bit of rubber banding. They're being stacked. They're being so obedient right now. I just love them. Even if you have a restraining order to take care of these orbs, as you can see, they're awesome. They're behaving. Not right now, though. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. That was this is a hindsight move. Okay, let's just not do that. So if you hit spikes during the auto-scroller section, that allows me to perfectly explain this. You instantly die. So what I was trying to do is actually stack the Stalker Orbs together and then just, you know, have them be floating around, but that's not such a good idea. Anyway, during an auto-scroller section, Dizzy comes forth. She has the guns on the front. We're just vibing around on the back. We're just, you know, listening to the good stuff. And what I mean with the Song of My People is this engine. Vroom. 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 Yes, that's the thing. That's the Song of My People. Anyway, with the Stalker Orb down, we're gonna grab this. I'm gonna show something. Okay, got it. That's Flying Dizzy. I bet she's gonna get fixed one day. I'm sorry, Zoo. I'm sorry. I just have to show it off until then. It's fun. Flying Dizzy is being caused by having like the perfect height at that moment during that transition. Anyway, Ice Kunai. Right off, we skip the cutscene. We dash into Ice Kunai. We don't want to get hit by her ice attacks, honestly, because she has the ability to freeze us. It's not even funny. If you get frozen by her, it's pretty bad. You're gonna have a bad time. And that is Ice Kunai down without getting frozen. Nice! Whew. Glad that one's over. Yes, Genos is gonna be so mad is what she says. But Genos is the final boss. It's basically the evil scientist you're trying to save New Hope City and the world from. He's the one behind the scenes actually controlling most of the dark energy, manipulating it. He feels like having control over the dark energy is actually safer for humanity as a whole. But with Ice Kunai down, you can see we now have a new ability. Ice Kunai's ability, which is a really powerful one. This is, of course, a new invasion. The invasions are being used as a tutorial for your new ability. And as you could see right away, those fire enemies are super weak to Ice Kunai. We're just, you know, instantly making them regret ever trying to, you know, take us on. This is my turf. They're supposed to be gone. But this also introduces more quick swapping. Give me that. And as you can see, it is really becoming like a really good... I forgot about this one. Okay, I'm not awake enough to remember that. I was just checking that because different invasions have different spawning locations. There we go. We can skip that. We don't have to shop, so we're immediately going to use Ice Kunai form into the other stages, which are called the Abandoned Labyrinths, or the Earth stages. But yeah, form swapping becomes even a bigger thing, and especially for Ice Kunai during these stages, because Ice Kunai has a great ability. You saw me throwing Kunai before. But Ice Kunai has one special hidden ability. No, not really hidden, but it allows you to dash through enemies. And right off the bat, it introduces you to like these Ice Kunai holding platforms. Ice Kunai also has the ability to hang, but as you can see, Ice Kunai is just amazingly good at just ignoring most of the things that's going on here. Using a couple of iframes. But yeah, you can see why this is important. It prevents us getting the knockback from every enemy every time, so... Here we see Ice Kunai hanging. Ah, no! Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, it happens. It's always stage 3-1. It's always stage 3-1. 3-1 is like the demon of my bane. Even in my PB, I still succumb to it. It's unfortunate, but it's just the train of thought sometimes. As you can see on the floor, sometimes you have these platform changers. Those are basically what the developer suggested, like that would be a good form to use. And the developer is actually kind of right in it. It's like a mental reminder, but you can also just stand on it and it automatically changes your form. So you don't have to use it, but if you're in contact with it while you're in other form, it will change your form. It's always such a nice tool to have. It's a good example coming up where I will be using it is in this one. At the top right here, it auto changes me into the lightning form. So I mentioned it a little bit earlier about how I'm trying in some stages to preserve Berserk energy. This is one such stage. I am desperately trying to not use any Berserk energy at all because there's very rare chances where I actually have to use some Berserk energy. And if I use it right here, I might not get the quick kill on this boss. Which I desperately want. It's going to be a really tight one. It's not easy to pull off. I have to get some distancing and timing for that, but that's okay. Right now, we're just zipping and zooming through these stages. Using a couple of zips here and there. Woo! Actually, get a quick jump here using the Ice Kunai one. As you can see, there's also different kinds of wires. So that's just so you know, they're not all lightning wires. There's also ice wires now that we have to take into account. There we go. And the reason I'm not using lightning form to dash downwards is if you have Berserk energy stacked up and you use the lightning form to dash downwards. Hang on. This is the mid boss. I'm gonna have to focus about this for a second. I'll explain what the downward dash does in a minute. So what I'm trying to do right here is position myself in such a way and use double Berserk attacks to get... Whoa! Oh, yes! Okay, so I made it look really easy, but it's actually really hard. You have to get the proper positioning in to deal just enough damage. Like with the special attack on a certain amount of pixels on the floor, you can deal double or even triple the amount of damage with your special. So that's exactly what I went for right there. Which is kind of tough to execute because he drops boulders from the ceiling. So you often try to time your Berserk attack, giving you just a couple of iframes to dodge through those boulders. Because if the boulders hit you, you can't throw kunais. And if you don't throw kunais, you don't do enough damage. So it's like positioning, damage, and iframing all at the same time. Get me through this. So yeah, unfortunately, while explaining the mid-boss, if anybody has an idea what I was trying to say or talk about before, I'm sorry, I don't. It's a bit tough trying to combine commentary and explain things at the same time. So bear with me. Anyway, moving on. I think I was talking about Ice Kunai's ability. It's all good, it's all good. We're here. Oh, just not. Come on, come on. Here we go. I'm gonna try something. No, I can't do it. I don't have enough health. What I normally would try to do here, it's pretty new, is avoid those barrels entirely. Because if you avoid those barrels, you can actually save quite a bit of time there. By just wiggling through the spikes, ignoring that. So let's go. Nice. One of Ice Kunai's alternate abilities is after you hit an enemy, you can actually choose a direction, and if you choose the direction, as you can see right here, it gives you basically more dash time momentum. So it's basically like a triple dash, but it's kind of, you know, finicky. Oh yeah, the downward dash gives you invincibility frames. That's what I was trying to mention. That's what I forgot. So, but it also uses Berserk energy in lightning form because it's such a powerful ability. But if you use it in the lightning form... Oh, no, no! What am I doing? Okay, hang on a second. Let me focus on this. So these drill platforms are the only time you're going to see them during this specific run. That's just because those shooting platforms don't really line up with the timing. So that's when we actually use a flame drill platform. But yes, lightning form downward dash gives off a shock wave, which costs Berserk energy. So I try to avoid that at most times. This one is actually weak to Ice Kunai, so this quick kill is rather quick and executed because every time you hit a weak spot on an enemy, they have like this small exclamation mark on them. And with that, our mid boss, who was, you know, pretty intimidating before, is kind of like a wuss now, honestly. He just up enough us, he just bailed. We have no use for him. With that, on to our checkpoints. Hitting a couple of these enemies over here. No Steve. Stay away. Bad Steve. Anyone who likes Steve is just banned from this point on. Ban Steve. Anyway, what you see right here is a couple of things you have seen before. This is an infinite jump trick. So instead of, you know, doing all the heavy platforming section that's difficult on the left, we just, no. We just say now, we just go up there using this really cool cheaty tube. It's actually developer intended, like a bit of a backtracking tool. It uses a certain form we're going to obtain in a bit. But we just go like, nah, we don't need this. So mission 9 is where the boss is residing. You might think, wow, you know, soaring wind, pretty cool boss, what is it gonna do? Well, she's hiding behind 2 doors, which are both switches. So, you know, as a job as a teleporter just became a lot more important. Imagine having to backtrack the entire way again. But no, we're just gonna use Drill Claw. We're going to activate the door and make her wish she never messed with us. But yeah, before we get to said door, we're going to have to do a little bit of staging and gauntleting. There we go. This is where Flame Drill's form is, you know, kind of useful. Except that no, not right now, no. Just let me know if I tricked you. It's a Death Orb. It's one of 2 Death Orbs that we'll be using throughout the run entirely. So that point right there was eventually discovered, so that we could Death Orb. Somehow the checkpoint there got loaded a little bit faster. So with that, we can actually just effectively go through this. But with that, I'm trying to grab these orbs a little bit. The only downside to death in this game is that you lose your orbs, which is kind of annoying. So we're trying to manage our orbs as best as we can while also going through these stages. Because every time you save, get through a checkpoint, you save the orbs. And I need them. They're my money. Here we go. As you can see, he talked about the lines earlier, which means you can get quite close to those. Here we go. After the, yeah, you can use infinite jump there, but I think actually that just flying there might just be that little bit faster. There's a lot of Steve here's. Are they fangirling me now? Is it like they're trying to hug me, but then like really painfully? Whatever. The first checkpoint is done. We're off back to the start. We're gonna have to activate the second switch, which is a bit of different platforming here and there. Oh, don't hold the ladder there. But as you can see, through the earth stages and skipping a bunch of conky dong barrels, yes. But yeah, skipping those actually just gives us so much time and leeway to... No. Leeway to... Ah. Okay, I have to be a little bit careful. Health is getting a little low here. Okay, we're good. We're good. Because we're not getting to a checkpoint quite soon. Oh, Diane, don't skip those orbs, buddy. Don't skip those orbs. You're gonna need them. Because the double dash is a very expensive ability, and I desperately want it. So we're being introduced to another Pavlov trap right here. In this case, though, for that one, you're specifically rewarded with a Berserk Boy medal. So sometimes it's good to get tricked, I guess? I don't know. We're hyper drilling through this section. There's a couple of exploration sections here and there. We're just gonna, you know, not deal with that. And with that, we're almost through the end there. Steve, just leave. He still tries. Gotta admire the guy, right? Does his job well enough to keep on the job at all times. So back to the start, and I'm going to try to go for a quick kill on Trish, or Soaring Wind. She's very strong. She is absolutely strong. She will obliterate you. However, she has one tiny little weakness, which is called Ice Kunai. And if you trigger that on time, she will gladly thrive through all the ice there. And with a little bit of maneuvering, we can actually Ice Kunai her. There we go. And then, this is one of the few bosses that you can completely cutscene skip. And with that, Ice Kunai, Soaring Wind is completely obliterated. Under 2 minutes. That's actually not that bad. And with that, we are headed off to another invasion. How many times is this gonna happen? Like, man. Ow! Don't headbutt me. That's bad. Actually getting a headbutt and flames. This is like a discount sale on K. Am I just getting hit for free now? Wow. Anyway, moving on. Using the shot. Dude, you're supposed to be there. That was our entrance. That was your moment. That was his acting moment. When I land there with a shockwave, I have like the timing to kill him with said shockwave. Which makes it, you know, kind of fun to do. Oh yeah, this time I do have to go left. Like I said, different invasions, different enemy types. Ooh, low on health. I have to be a little bit more careful now. There we go. Ah, there we go. A little bit of extra health. Thank you. But yeah, with the invasion, it gives us the ability to, you know, talk about Soaring Wind and use a lot of quick swap ability. Soaring Wind is basically your ability that's a lot of movement and a lot of shielding. It gives you... ow. Is there another one here? I forgot. I'm not getting hit by these guys usually, so... Can I say that has never happened before? Okay, we skip this. We fall down. We basically also mini death warp here. So we can skip the entire platforming section back. We go to the shop and we buy the double dash. We just had enough. We just barely had enough orbs. So I'm really glad. That means that we have a full-fledged run.
Are you ready to head out?
And with that, we can go off to the Skyfort. Now, we just got a backtracking tool. It functions like a backtracking tool. It has a shield, it has a spear special, and it has a good dash. But double dash... Yes, that is an ability our lightning form now has, and double dash makes you fly over pits. And boy, let me tell you, does that go fast. But you'll see it in just a bit. Let me just grab that one for swag. There we go. But yeah, right off in the Skyforge stages, we're off in the autoscroller, showing the full extended capabilities of K's new form. We're flying. Dizzy's actually flying on her back. Please get off. And with it, we can, together, we can fire the shield that does quite a ton of damage if you can spawn it inside the enemy. That's why the little guy just now, who was flying around with the spear, was trying to desperately get rid of us. Here he comes again. There we go. Activate the shield. He's gonna eat a lot of damage. There he goes. There's nothing left of him, so we're just gonna take the reward. All these orbs. We're still going to need the orbs, by the way. There's just one more form that is going to desperately need its upgrade. But yeah, the game suggests we're going to use the Soaring Wind form, but we're just not going to. We're just too fast. Hang on a second. There we go. I'm still going to use Soaring Wind for this section because you have these flying things right here, which I don't really want to deal with. Sometimes they work with you, sometimes they don't. They were off cycle this little time, so just for safety, take Soaring Wind and go. But as you can see there, pits are kind of meaningless to us now. Don't really have to hyper drill here. Would be cool, but activating that one takes more time. There we go. Catching a little bit of breath here. That is a Soaring Wind platform. It's a really nice platform to have, but we don't really need it. Except for this one small moment right now. Let's see, double dash upwards here. There we go. No. Thank you, controller. I wasn't joking earlier when I said my controller sometimes has issues. I'm actually on the verge of getting a new DualShock 4 controller. That should definitely help me get things stabilized a little bit. But yeah, there's a lot of platforming going on. We're just blazing through a double dash. We're making use of everything we have possible. Elevator here. I'm actually going to elevator stack these guys. I've been using Flame Drill, but there's this really cool thing Django showed off when he was doing his no-hit challenge runs. What you can do is you can stack them and just completely obliterate all these guys right there in just one go. And it's kind of satisfying, but actually loses time in a speedrun. So I don't do it often, but you know, sometimes for showing off purposes can be used. Okay, we're a bit low on health. I'm a bit concerned, but I think we'll be fine. So, as you can see, sometimes these corner hops also work on enemies. We're pretty good. If I got you with this one again, please tell me. Okay, I have to focus. This is an elevator skip. Okay, there we go. So what we did right now is basically an auto-scroller skipper, which the elevator forces you to lock down. When going upwards in an elevator, you have like a small segment or a small window on the right side where you can stand. It's like a miniature window that just prevents you from actually getting into the elevator, which is, you know, nice. And with that, but the thing that makes it scary is you have to pass those flames. Those are too thick. It's just well enough, just big enough that you can use one dash to go through, because you have to reactivate your dash again. You can't do that during your invincibility thing, so you have to actually time your dash to go through those flames, because they're instant kill. I mean, at least the respawn spawns just before the elevator, but man, is it scary getting through that. So with that quick gauntlet, we are off to the second stage. As you can see, we're no longer cutscene skipping. The game knows we're going berserk. It just lets us. Nice, that's a hard one. There we go. No, you're not gonna touch us. This is a no touching zone. Stay away. Ow! No. No, I don't want to go back into that death plane. Death planes, as you can see, are actually visible by using those skulls. Although in 4.3 they're quite large, I'd say. This is also a really good part of why Double Dash makes it really good to use, because otherwise you'd have to transform back to Soaring Wind. Well, just right now we can just dash to our heart's content and basically make this to make this section look a lot better. What I'm going for right here is called a spike skip. So using the invincibility right here, I'm changing to Soaring Wind. Those moving blocks are... Okay, we got it. That's a hard one to get. But those moving blocks are instant death spikes, and those would respawn me all the way back, which I'm not really a fan of. Especially not when we're, you know, going on a pace. Bump. Oh. Unfortunately, the bop didn't happen. Here we go. Out of here. Up right. Up, up. No. I'm just going to change the Soaring Wind a little bit early here. Because our health isn't looking too great. No. I'm getting a little close here. It's a little bit dangerous, but we're fine now. We're almost at a checkpoint. Oop. Gonna grab these orbs. Using a bit of more hyper drilling. It saves so much time. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Dine, you're going to be fine. Nothing is going wrong. The checkpoint is right there. You're fine. Steve is there. I'm just gonna take this slow. It's scary. There we go. It's not the checkpoint yet, but I knew there was gonna be health here. Okay, this is gonna be the second elevator skip. Just a bit of focus. Okay, there we go. It's rhythmically set up so that you can, if you do it the right rhythm every time, you can always get it. Doesn't make it less difficult though, because as you could see, we're still tickling the flames there, and those flames will set you back further than the first elevator skip does. But yeah, this is a great showcase of Soaring Winds form. It just makes quick work of those enemies there. Quick infinite jump here to just quickly get up there. Whew. Off to our next auto-scroller section. It's a bit of a doozy, this one. But usually that means that's the calm before the storm, right? Right? Well, yeah, we're gonna be stuck with a mini-boss. I hope he's gonna give us a good pattern. He's never done that so far, so... I've only seen it once, like, I think, offline? But what you're hoping for is you start off with firing at him. This is a bullet sponge, basically. You fire the shield at him as quickly as possible. And what I'm trying to do is manipulate his shots by tapping on his rhythm very quickly up and down. And then activating the shield as much as possible. Now, this is what you don't want to see. He's going to use his charge attack. I'm just going to let myself get hit 2 times. You can get more shots in that way. You can try dashing. And then we get back into position. And with this shield, we deal a bit of extra damage. The shield also has another property. It removes bullets, as you can see. There we go. And with that, he is down. So the favorable pattern is that he just decides to keep moving up and down. But with that, we're through and we can just jam a little bit to the music. It's a bit calming. Fiora is still following us. I don't know how. We're going blazingly fast. Bing, bing. Yeah, we got it, Dizzy. Thank you. 1, 2. Hyper drilling through this little bit here. Let's see. Grab the corner here. There we go. Okay, so we're changing a couple of forms here and there, mostly to break with these boxes faster. Ice Kunai actually has the ability to instantly do that. I remembered just in time. Otherwise, that floor would have been like, nice, crunchy Dian, yes. But none of that today. We're stuck in a gauntlet, as you've seen before. Flame Drill has, like, his way to dealing with things. And the reason I usually punch left to right is because of this enemy here. It takes a little bit more time to kill those. However, if you take his shield away, he gives up. Poor guy. I really wish we could support him just a little bit more. So let's roll through here. And as you can hear, sometimes when K actually says drill claws. Hang on a second. Ooh, got it. 2 things. Once K actually gets into those dirt sections where he goes drill claws, it actually sounds a lot like Grandpa! S rank, nice. So every time, no, yes. So every time he gets into floor, sometimes people say Grandpa, sometimes people go drill claws. That's pretty cool. But what I did at the end right there is a spike exit. You can imagine that if you are stuck between spikes and floor, you're getting squished and die. Yeah, this game actually emphasizes that. So what I did was a spike exit, which is kind of dangerous. Let's put it that way. If I go too soon, I'm basically going to kill myself and... Hang on, I had to focus for that. But yeah, basically if you use the spike exit, you go too soon and you instantly die, which would be... Oh no, I have to get my second previous shot. Okay. Back on track. Just imagine this is hard. We're doing a couple of auto-scroller skips. There we go. So that platform would start an auto-scroller. I just had to recharge a little bit of energy there. Recharge a little bit of energy here. Normally you would have to fly this really slow going platform, and I'm just like, nah, let's just not do that. It's not cool. And this level has a couple of them, and they're not easy to perform. So this is another one of those platform auto-scroller skipping section. No! That's unfortunate. But it's also pretty hard to time that to get out of the dirt and then actually to get into the auto-scroller skipping section. Let me catch my breath just a little bit. So what you see right here is we're going through this, and when you exit this, I have to listen to an audio cue. It's really hard to activate the correct audio cue. Okay, there we go. We got it. Ooh, fly a little bit up. And this one is a chain of 2 auto-scroller skips. This one's the most difficult one due to the fact that we have to use infinite jump, and that the floor is very much like a vacuum. It likes to suck you up. See? This is exactly what I'm talking about. That makes this part really difficult. So I'm going to be a bit cheeky and throw a short kunai, which is very dangerous because you're tickling the death plane right there. There's nothing telling you it is a death plane, so it's kind of a guess where you have to hit it. But we seem to be... I'm not celebrating yet because there's a second part to this. Not seem to be... Let's not jinx it. Let's not try and jinx it. Okay, let's just carefully... Oh, okay, there we go. We got it. We got it. Whew, that's a difficult one. As you can see, the floor right there feels like saying like, you owe us something. And no, floor, I owe you nothing. We're just out of here. Goodbye, floor. The floor has been floored. But yeah, it's, as you can see, that was a pretty dangerous section to get through. So we're actually heading into an auto-scroller and not skipping this one. And you might think, well, you can fly over that block, right? Yeah. And the floor just served its purpose. You could perfectly see what we can do there, right? And you'd think, you could fly underneath that one, right? No. No. Just no. But there's a hidden part to this, which means we're still skipping it because the door somehow still opens, which means I'm going to go through this room blind. Mostly blind. That last section still showed up. There we go. And then we're off to the final boss. So yeah, that was auto-scroller skip into a blind room into the final boss. I call this guy Gray for a specific reason. He's a bit of a nasty one. He's abusing a lot of his iframes that I unfortunately can't deal with, so I'm just gonna go Soaring Wind and taunt him with my shield a little bit. But he's weak to Soaring Wind's shield, so I'm gonna Mario this guy, got a little bit of Berserk energy. There we go. Perfect timing. Yes! Nice quick kill. Okay, so what you have to do, Soaring Wind's special Berserk ability takes a lot of time to set up, and Gray here just flies in the air and he just stays there. By some magical one or other reason, he just stays there and lets us. So while I hop the enemy downstairs, while I was Mario hopping that enemy, I actually regained some Berserk energy, which is really important, because that allowed me to fire off that attack just there and make sure the quick kill was ready. I haven't talked about these guys before, but as you can see, I'm using 2 dashes to get into them. They have like a shield, and they open up after they've been hit with their shield. So as you can imagine, it's going to take a little bit of an annoyance to get rid of such shield. It is possible to use it with Ice Kunai, which you can basically just infinitely fly around if you so choose. We're just skipping the elevator here again. Poor elevator. Thinks it has a job, has none. But so yeah, the red enemies, they're pretty tenacious, should I say. They don't like you, I don't like them. So that's a mutual agreement on that. So getting rid of the invasion, we have just unlocked Mindbuster form. I had to think for a second because I call him Gray. But Mindbuster form doesn't give you any mobility at all. Its form is the complete opposite of all the other forms you've had so far. So it's pretty counterintuitive. However, it is very integral to its design. So skipping the cutscene. That is the last invasion, by the way. And this is also going to be our last shopping trip. For our last form. Hi, Professor Quinn. As you can see, it sold infinite ammo. Now, Mindbuster form is basically a walking tank. And if you give a walking tank infinite ammo, which we just skipped purchasing, what would you do? I personally wouldn't even dare to stand against a tank that just has infinite ammo. I'd just leave. I'm just out of here. Just like what Kay is doing here. But as you can see, this form is really strong. It is now our go-to for gauntlets and all the other options available. It is just that powerful. It makes all the previous bosses basically a laughing joke. So there we go. And it just also is a bit of a door opener. But as I'll show right now, this one actually just obliterates everything. I don't have to dash through it. I don't have to take care of shields. I don't have to look after it. But what you see me do here is flicker the ability a little bit. Now there's this reloading ability inside the game. Which, you know, is a bit of a cool idea. But what if I could just flick around and just reload and then get my infinite ammo that way? So I purchased, instead of purchasing infinite ammo, I just went with extra health, backup health, because, you know, spikes, enemies here, it can deal a lot of damage, so I'd rather have this little bit of safety here. Swapping forms, these stages are made to be very compact, specifically so that it shows off their powers. But as you can see, we're blazing through them, swapping as many times as possible. Ooh, let me trying. Okay, you need to go. But yeah, swapping around here becomes. Ooh, you know what? Let's just grab it. Swapping around here becomes like a really key part of these last stages. They're very compact. They're designed to. I feel like they're designed to make use of every ability as much as possible, as we're going to see right here. You have these Mindbuster platforms, but since we have Double Dash, we just skip the Mindbuster platforms entirely altogether. Now, I have figured out how to do a spike skip here later on, but I have to do a little bit of focus on that one. Unfortunately, missed that platform. It's a bit tough to try and get those. And then the floor will, you know, take us away. The suggested form right for this part is, of course, Soaring Wind. I'm going to take a damage boost here. Oh, got it! It's always a bit scary going for spike skips. Because if you die, you get set back so far, it's not funny. With that, a checkpoint, and I have not mentioned we are at the final stages. Ha! Reloading, making our gauntlet life a lot easier. Come over here. Reload. And then quickly making work of these fools who dare challenge us. There we go. So with those out of the way, we can quickly get to the last part of the first stage. Yeah, we're almost at the end already. Can you imagine it? It actually kind of flew by. No pun intended, since I seem to be flying around, but No, we're actually doing quite well so far. I say that, but I might have just jinxed the rest of the run for now. Whew. But yeah, the rest of the stages are going to be compact. We're going to be opening more doors, more buttons, more everything. I'll explain this as best as I can as we go on. But yeah, the Dark Fortress, the Wily stages. This is it. The penultimate stage? I think that's the word for it, right? It's the one before the final stage? Who cares? And at the end of it, the mad scientist Genos is waiting for us. He's like, I just needed your orbs. The only thing you've done is sped up your process towards your demise! Yeah, Genos, I don't think you know how this works, but I'm the protagonist of this story. Should I explain to you how plot armor works? Also how speedrunning works, right? Because that's what we're doing here. We're basically making his entire layout into a bit of a laughingstock. Poor guy. See, because we're flying. No! That singular piece of bullet. Oh, it almost gave me a nightmare. It actually clipped me too. Okay, anyway, moving on. You have this bit of platforming section here. What you see me do is, you've seen it before. If I have a little bit of time left and I'm stuck on those grind rails, what I try to do is dash over those grind rails. Thank you. Because dashing over those grind rails actually saves quite a little bit of time. Let's grab this one right here. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're through it. Oh, Pavlov trap, no! And that's what happens when you hyper drill into one of those platforms. It's kind of unfortunate, but if you are going fast enough, usually those things bounce you back. But instead of getting bounced back, if you're hyper drilling into them, you can imagine that if you're dashing like, how do you call it? If you're dashing at like 6 or 7 times per second into something that deals only 2 to 3 damage, yeah, it's going to eat your health quite fast. But yeah, that's quite an unfortunate death, but it can happen. So what I'm going to do right here is quickly reset Hyper Drill and stay up top. Almost got caught again. Oh, that would be funny, honestly. But yeah, let's skip that because the checkpoint was obviously right there, huh? We all knew that. You always die right before a checkpoint. Oops, almost got squished between spikes there. That's not cool. So what happens here is we actually have to go upstairs kind of quickly. Because there's 2 buttons that need to be activated. For the doors to the bottom right before we can access the final area. So this is door 1. Now if I only could figure out how this despawning worked that I mentioned earlier during the ice stages, we could, you know, entirely forgo all these doors. But until then, we're just going to use Ice Kunai here. Make Ice Kunai have its cool showcase as well. It's like these really nice sections where you can dash with Ice Kunai and then just like that. There we go. And with that, we are on to the final section, which is going to be the final gauntlet for this one. Yeah, we've seen you before. Have I told you about my infinite ammo, guys? No? Well, welcome. Here you are. But yeah, there's a lot going on. And you can see, you might go fly over there to the right and think there's a secret there, right? Well, I'm going to leave that up to your imagination, whether there is one or not. You're going to have to play the game for yourself. So with that, we are off to the final stage of the any percent run. It will be time once we hit, once we delete the final boss. I will, if I have some time left, I will go for the final boss skip. And time will be up when I hit, whatchamacallit, when I hit the loading screen. So quick cancel the Donkey Kong barrel, hit the lightning wire. You can hear if you've been listening to the game soundtrack, I think I might have explained this before, but I'm quite forgetful, so I'm just gonna say it again. The game soundtracks, every stage has like a main theme, and then every stage has like its own remix of the main theme. So this one's pretty cool. Actually gives you like the final boss vibe as well, while it's kind of relaxed and also isn't at the same time. So activating the door right here. Hyper drilling our way back. There we go. Grandpa! There's a quick fall setup right there. 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. No, Steve, we have no use for you. Uh-oh. There we go. Quick infinite jump action there. If in panic in casual mode, you can always go for Soaring Wind. Always a safe retreat option to go for, honestly. But yeah, what I'm going for here is double spike skip. And it's double because of the fact that... Oh, okay, that's 1. Okay, that's 2. We got him, we got him, we got him, we got him. We're good, we're good. My track record is actually improving with this, but the amount of times I've died to them, oh boy. Oh boy. I'm just gonna say it's a lot. The usual way would be to use Ice Kunai there. And Ice Kunai actually has the hang ability that allows you to, you know, hide when you're trying to avoid getting crushed by those. Now, the developer laid out this really nice path to you for you to follow this diagonally, and I'm just flying straight up, ignoring everything. I'm sorry, Zoo. You did your best. We're just, you know, a bunch of cheeky speedrunners who think otherwise. Yeah, one of the final, I think, drill sections. Bit of an elevator. At this point, doesn't matter which form you pick, but just for all time's sakes, flame drill sounds nice. Maybe I can do a bit of a combo. But yeah, you can imagine if you hyper tap it, you can do a lot of damage to a lot of enemies. If you hyper tap it with infinite ammo, it's absurd the amount of damage you can do with it. That platform is broken, don't tell Sue. Sue's gonna be like, oh no, I'm definitely going to fix that. Anyway, moving on, this is the last section. Quickly switching to Ice Kunai here. And then moving on to Soaring Wind. Hyper drilling are... Oh, no. That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. It can kill you so quickly. Doing a bit of an elevator skip here. To be a bit careful. Landing on the spikes. So I'm going to try and see if I can do the cool strat here. Yo, we got it. That's nice. That's nice. That's really... It's a bit difficult to... Okay. We have a little bit of time. What I'm going to try and do here is go and lure the final boss out of this room. It's just difficult to set up. So I have to do multiple inputs at once. Oh, the right pixel. So I'm using my D-pad for it. I'll just kill myself and try again. I'm really going to try and see if I can show it off. But this is the final boss. You can actually super quickly kill him if you want to. But I'm going to try and see if we can lure him out of his room. Yeah. You can lightning justice. Let me try this. Like I said, I have to do multiple inputs at once at rather close range because of the hitbox shifting properties of this form. Okay, this should get... Yes! Okay, sorry for that. It's kind of difficult. So what I'm doing right now is I'm luring him to the foreground, skipping it, cutscene. That gives me the option to actually just swap back forms. Now he's out of the room, ladies. He is loose cannon. Is this a double kill? Oh my god. Okay, so multiple things go wrong here. What? I'll just kill the final boss and then explain it. We're just gonna do it the old-fashioned way. But what happened right there is you're in a glitched state. This is not supposed to happen. You're definitely never supposed to lure him outside of the room. So what happens is you have a glitched state. And during that glitched state, time. During that glitched state, while he's going down, and he dies at the same time, if you press start and can't do skip fast enough, you will also fall. Because during pressing start, you seem to be falling. Sometimes, rarely, it doesn't. But most of the times, you just keep falling and you get this rare double KO if you're not on time. If you're not flying over a solid floor. But yes, you get the double KO. Unfortunately, I was not able to cheese him out of the room. But you saw how it's possible, and that was the thing. The commander congratulates us, and he's like... And we're just like, Genos is still out there! The commander is like, no, focus on your citizen-saving duties first. But ladies and gentlemen, with that, I am done for today. That is Berserk Boy any %. Now, if I have a little bit of time left, I'd like to do a shout-out if I can get the OK sign for that. Let me actually grab my notes for that. I'm quite forgetful, by the way, so I actually had to write a couple of things down. I'd like to shout out the Berserk Boy community. I'd like to shout out Ahmad. Thank you for allowing me to showcase Berserk Boy for this marathon. And I'd like to shout out Zoo and Sheila and Tisham for she is the best #1 fan of the game. And that's it.